Hello, welcome to a new video, and today it is time for my second ever round of May the TBR be with you. I absolutely loved doing this for my April TBR, and if you know the stress that first round caused me filming, just know this round went so smooth with there was no technical issues, and I'm very happy. So, it is also May, so it is the month of Royal Readathon. Royal Readathon is 3 years old this month, like the month of May. Neither me nor Liv can understand how we've been doing this for 3 years. Like, we've had the best time, and there are more rounds planned, so you're not getting rid of us yet. But I have been very good with my Royal Readathon this year, or this time round, because as you know, if you have watched my videos before, I always try to fill every single prompt with a different book, which this round has 14 prompts, so that would not be fun for me to try and do. So I'm actually quite proud. I have not gone overboard. I have quadrupled up on some of these. Like, one of these books I think is doing 6 or 7 prompts, and I'm very proud of myself for this because I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, and I'm going to have the best time with it. So we're going to start off with the roles for my May the TBR be with you, and then afterwards I will go through what books I'm using to fill each prompt in Royal Readathon. So first up, let's see which 5 planets I'm travelling to this month. Okay, so I am replacing my Mando with the chopper pin that I got at Star Wars Celebration. I think this is going to work a lot better. So I am going to put him where I left off on, which was 5 spaces before Mustafar. So let's roll the D10 5 times to see what planets we're going to. So that's number 8, so that's Tatooine. 6, so that is Mustafar. 6 is Mustafar, let's roll again. 2 is Coruscant. That's a 9, so that is Camino. And then the final planet is 8, so to Tatooine. Okay, so the first planet we've got to get to is Tatooine. So let's do the first roll. That is a 6 and a 4, so we have a 10. Best way. I think we're going to go up this way to Tatooine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll number 2. It's a 7 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's worrying that I'm not at the first planet and it's the third roll. A double A. Of course I get to move through hyperspace when I'm only 4 spaces away. Okay, so that means we get to pick from the Tatooine pile. Let's make sure I only pick up 1. And that is, I don't know if you can see that, that is Luke, a book with a twist. So the first planet I landed on was Tatooine, and I pulled the Luke prompt, which is to read a book with a twist. Now for this one, I'm stretching this prompt a bit because it's my TBR game, I can do what I want. So I am choosing Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. Now the twist in this is very much made clear to us as the reader in the blurb that she she's from a family of monsters, but she falls for a boy who is actually a monster slayer. So obviously that's going to be a twist for her because she ain't going to see that coming. But I'm going to be buddy reading this with Catherine. We both want to read this to see if we like it enough to purchase the sequel, which I think Fairy Loot are putting on sale in June. So we really do need to read this in May so we know whether we want to purchase this matching sequel, because this is a stunning edition and I don't want to miss out on a beautiful edition to match just because I haven't read it yet. So, Only a Monster. Right, now we've got to get back to Mustafar. Please be another double. That's a 3 and an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Roll number 5 is a double 3. Yes. Move through hyperspace to Mustafa. Now, there are only 2 prompts for this one, so let's hope I've shuffled them all. I don't actually remember which one was on top. So, ooh, Obi-Wan, a book with mental health representation. Next up, we landed on Mustafa, and I pulled the Obi-Wan card, which is a book with mental health representation. Now, for this one, I am choosing The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. Now, I don't actually know if this is going to have actual mental health representation, but I've been reading, I was reading the blurb and everything, and it sounds like she has like anxiety, so I'm gonna use that on that basis. Also, she very much, it sounds like she is from a, like, it's set in a time period where women aren't basically allowed to do anything, so that's probably gonna affect her mental health just a little bit, so I'm choosing this. Okay, we've got to get up to Coruscant now, so we want the we want a double, please. No, it's a 2 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll number 7. 8 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll number 8. It's a 5 and an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're on Coruscant. So let's pick, where is Coruscant's up here? Let's pick a prompt. And that is, oh, Senator Palpatine, a book with politics. Next up, we landed on Coruscant, and for this I pulled the Senator Palpatine card, which is a book with politics. And I'm actually so happy I pulled this prompt in the month of for the month of May, because I'm going to read Chaos Rising by Timothy Zahn. This is the first book in the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy. I actually have this whole plan because we are doing a 48-hour readathon for Raw Readathon, and we're going to be doing sprints in that, and it is the weekend after May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th. So I'm going to read that this week. I'm going to read this that weekend. But this is very much like Thrawn's backstory, which I am a massive fan of Star Wars Rebels, if you haven't guessed already by the fact I'm using my chopper pin for the board now. And this is Thrawn's backstory, and you don't get Thrawn's backstory in Rebels. And if you've seen the Ahsoka trailer, Thrawn might be relevant again. So I want the backstory. I have the whole trilogy and I still have not started it, so I am going to start it finally. And there is definitely politics in this. Any Star Wars book is going to have some form of politics, because they're either politicians or it's to do with the war, with the Empire, and yeah. And then I still have 7 spots. Let's just move this dice over. I still have 7 to move. I now need to get to Kamino, which is all the way over here. So I'm thinking probably this is the best way. So we've got 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll number 9 is a 7 and an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I'm pretty confident. There's only going to be one more roll, but I'm pretty confident we're going to get to Kamino. But will I get a high enough roll that I can get to Kamino and then get to Tatooine? We shall see. The 10th and final roll. Oh, that's a 6 and an 8. Oh my god, I think I'm going to get to all 5 planets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 to Kamino. Let's see who we've got. Ooh, Echo, a book that had a cover change. Next up was Kamino, and I pulled the Echo card, which is a book that had a cover change. I love this prompt. I'm really proud of myself for this prompt, because if you know Echo's story in the Clone Wars and then into Bad Batch, you'll know why this is a perfect prompt for him. But for this, the By the Angel Along book for the month of May is Red Scrolls of Magic. So I'll be reading the Red Scrolls of Magic. Now, this is the original cover. I love it because it's got Magnus and Alec. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a massive fan of the redesign cover because it's just Alec. And I feel like they are doing Magnus dirty here because it is Magnus and Alex. But either way, it had a cover change. So I will be reading this. And then we have 11 spaces left to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did it. I did it. Yes. So we're back on Tatooine. So let's pick another Tatooine prompt. And it is Boba Fett, a book with revenge. And then, guys, I did it. I made it to all 5 planets. No lightsabers were pulled from the mug this time. I made it back to Tatooine with that final roll, and I pulled the Boba Fett card, which is a book with revenge. And for this one, I am a guest on Christopher Long for the months of April, May and June because we are reading the Aurora Cycle trilogy. So for this, I'm picking Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some form of revenge in this because I've only read Aurora Rising. But based on the end of Aurora Rising, I definitely feel there's going to be some sort of revenge plot in this. So if it turns out there isn't, it still counts because I think there's going to be. And plus, it's my TBR game, so my rules. But I'm choosing Aurora Burning. So that was the rolls. I'm honestly so happy. I did not think I would manage to do this. Like, it was looking, I was like very close to my 10th roll and I was like, oh my God. And then I was rolling my 10th roll and I hadn't even made it to Camino yet. And I was like, I'm going to have to pull a lightsaber again. I'm only going to make it to Camino. And then I rolled a high enough number. And luckily Camino and Tatooine are so close to each other that I was like, thank you. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. So yeah, now it's time to move on to Royal Readathon Epic Eras. I'm so excited. Like me and Liv had so much fun planning this one because we got to pick our favorites and then we didn't have to like choose like whose was going to do. This is why we decided to do so many prompts because it's just a fun time. You don't have to fill all the prompts. There's no competition and I'm really happy that I've only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books to fill all 14 prompts. I am not putting pressure on myself this time. So let's go through those prompts. So I'm going to be reading Something is Killing the Children by James Tynion IV. This is volume 3. If you've been watching my channel, you will know that I am fully obsessed with this. And I just want to devour all the books in this series. But the third one's the next one I need to read. And this is going to fit for Pinocchio, read a horror or thriller. This is a horror. And Encanto, read a book with a small community. This takes place in a small town. So this counts. And it's actually thanks to Ash that I managed to fill this, like add this one, because I was trying to figure out a horror or thriller that I wanted to read. And then Ash reminded me. I keep going on about wanting to continue this. So thank you, Ash. Next up, we have Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. This is going to fit Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, read a book with a family dispute. I definitely think this is going to be some sort of family dispute. Whether it's her with her family or him with his family, it very much sounds like there will be. It's also going to fit Oliver and Company, read a book set in a city. She goes to stay with her family in London. London is a city, obviously. And then Hercules, read a book with strength. She's going to... It literally says she'll have to embrace her own monstrousness if she's to save herself and her family, because in this story, she's not the hero. She's going to need to find that inner strength. So it fits for that. Next up is Spellbound by F.T. Lukens. I'm going to be buddy reading this with Jem from Bookish Gems. We've buddy read 2 other F.T. Lukens books and absolutely adored them. I have no doubt we're going to adore this one as well. So for this fits 5 prompts. Go me. So it fits Sword and Stone, read a book with learning. They have mentors. So they're learning things from their mentors. Mulan, read a book with societal standards. It very much sounds like the Magical Consortium has these like set of standards that you have to adhere to. So there we go. Atlantis, read an underrated book. No one talks about F.T. Lukens books, so this 100% fits this prompt. Tangled, read a book with sun on the cover. This is probably my greatest prompt stretch I have ever done in my life, and I am insanely proud of this because you might be thinking, Becca, there's no sun on this cover. One of these characters is called Sun, and it's spelled S-U-N, and he's on the cover. So Sun is on the cover. I don't know which one's Sun, which one's Rook, but That's Sun and Rook. And then this also fits Moana, read a book with a shiny cover. Look at the shine on that. That works. Next up, we have The Red Squads of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is Peter Pan, read a book with adventure. This is all about that little slot in between two of the Mortal Instruments books where Magnus and Alec go on an adventure through Europe. So yeah. And then the final book is The Shadow Gate by L.L. McRae. I'm so excited to have an e-arc of this. I'm really sad I couldn't get to it in April, but I literally did not have time for this. But I am prioritising this in May. I'm very excited to have an e-arc, so thank you so much, Lauren. But this fits the Aristocats, read a book with an animal on the cover. It's got a dragon. Dragon is a magical animal. Lilo and Stitch, read a book with found family. The first book has one of the most adorable found families. I love it so much. And it's going to move into this book, so yeah. And then Raya and the Last Dragon, read a book with a transformation. There's dragons. Any book with dragons is going to have some sort of transformation. And even if not, it's a character like transforming in the sense they're growing and they're learning. So yeah. So yeah, that's all 14 prompts filled with 5 books, and I'm very proud of this. I hope you are joining in Royal Readathon in May. Let me know in the comments below if you are, and how many books you've managed to use to fill all 14 prompts. And if you're not filling all 14 prompts, that's absolutely fine, like I said before. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.